everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today I thought I'd do another little day in the life since you guys enjoyed my Country File edition last time. For the non-Brits of you, Country File is like a programme that is traditionally watched by kind of older people where you're all in the countryside and doing countryside-y things, and that's how I feel like my life is just now in general. Today I am doing a range of things that are really exciting, and so I thought I'd take you along with me. This morning I'm shooting some content for a brand and it's not being posted on my pages, but I'm just taking some photos for them basically. I guess I'm like a content creator. And then later on today I'm on a podcast with a runner who I think is absolutely incredible, so it's amazing that she even knows who I am. Holly Rush, she's an ex-GB runner and does training programs now. Actually, if you're looking for a training, like an online training program for a 5k or a 10k, I think, actually no, she does marathons as well. So basically for anything, do go check her out. It's at Rush by Nature on Instagram. So I'm on a podcast with her later today, and then also I've got some plants to plant. I got sent some vegetables by Lazy Flora. I wrote a blog post a couple of weeks ago on the best places to buy plants, kind of startups, like all that kind of stuff, to support them, but also because I know that obviously being outdoors is so good for you and good for your mental health as well as your physical health. And I wanted to provide a kind of list of places to get plants either for your garden or literally just like indoors, so that you can green up your space and feel a little bit like happier and mood lifted and all that kind of stuff. Claire from Lazy Flora saw that and decided that she would like to send me some vegetable plugs, which are like just bigger than seedlings. So if you try and put in seedlings into the ground, if it's a cold night, then the plants will just die, or sometimes they can get eaten by birds or our chickens. So if you put in slightly bigger plants, the plugs, then they're more likely to survive. So I think I'm going to be planting those today, which is very exciting because, as you may know, I think I showed it on the last Country File edition of my day in the life, we built ourselves a veg patch, and since then we've done a lot more work in the garden that hopefully I'll be able to show you later as well, give you a little bit of a tour of kind of before and afters, because it's been intense and I thought I'd be missing the gym. I would say that gardening is quite significantly more tiring than the gym because you can do it for like 3-4 hours at a time before having to kind of conk out. So I've been getting lots done in there. Fiona and I have been thoroughly enjoying that, and that's kind of been my life now. I'm just a gardener, which I think is pretty cool. Work's also picking up at the moment, which is really lovely. I did think for a while that it was the end of my paid work ever, so I was a little bit concerned that I was just going to be spending the rest of lockdown like trying to beg people to give me work. But I think it's picking up a little bit now, and just kind of spending this time trying to create some good content. I know it's like a cliche, but I think if I can kind of put some baseline work in now to create content that you guys find useful, and hopefully speak to some other people who have a little bit more time on their hands now, like my coach and like my physio, to kind of collaborate with them and put some stuff out, then I figured that would be useful, so that when we all get back to work and when it's a lot more busy, I've at least got some good stuff out there that I can kind of direct people back to if they are struggling with various things. So I've just had my morning coffee. I'm now going to write a kind of proposal of all the photos that I'm going to take later and send that over to the brand, and then I guess we're gonna start planting, which will be my day today, and maybe head out for a run as well. It's a nice sunny day today and I don't think it's that warm, probably perfect weather for running. So yeah, I'll bring you along. So I'm just about to shoot all that content for the brand. As you can tell, I've changed top. It's actually one thing that I really enjoy about the job that we have, is that like you get to be really creative with it. I think what people think is that, well, and often it is, that influencing, you just like hold an item and go like, and that's your photo. But for me, because I do fitness modeling as well, sometimes I think like rather than just holding an item and doing the picture, I want a kind of whole scenario. So I've got things on the bed, like the different products, and each with the different outfit and then the different scenario that you're going to wear that outfit for, and you kind of create a bit of a story around it, which I know like sounds really gross. I don't know, it just sounds really weird. It's much more creative. So rather than having to get you know, a location scout, a wardrobe stylist, the photographer, the makeup artist, the model. You kind of do that all yourself, and I really enjoy that. I think it's a nice creative thing that is sometimes lacking in the job. So yeah, I have done that all now, and I'm going to be shooting that for probably the next hour. It's going to take a while, I think, because there are lots of different places that we're going to shoot the photos. So yeah, but it's very exciting. So I'm just about to record this podcast. We're trying to get Skype to work. And if Skype doesn't work, we're going to try and get Zoom to work, because Zoom hasn't been working recently. It's a whole new era of technology that even as a millennial, I can't figure out. So we're a couple of minutes late so far, but I'm going to try and record it so that you guys can have a little listen to little bits and bobs of it. Maybe just the intro, so that you have to actually go and listen to the podcast when it's out. But yeah, I'm very excited and a little bit nervous. Hey! Hang on. There we go.
How are you?
Good, how are you doing?
Right. Skype is just a disaster, I'm sorry about that.
No, it's fine. I've never managed to make it work without any problems at all.
I have Flora Beverley here on Marathon Talk, and I'm just going to give her a little short intro. She's basically an amazing blogger, a runner, a social media consultant, and I don't want to use that dirty word, but she's pretty big on social media. So if you head to her Instagram account, which we'll probably talk about later, you can see. But she's also just a really good all-round tree-hugging good person. Welcome to the show, Flora.
Thank you for having me. Okay, podcast done. Second photo shoot of the day done. Just had to redo a couple of the photos. Now I'm gonna go down and make some lunch, which is obviously the best part of the day. Lunch is 2 pieces of wholemeal toast, some tomato paste, butter, not butter, but fake butter, some vegan cheese and hummus, and some home sprouted veg. Homemade biscuits for dessert. Are you happy?
I am.
These are my oat and chocolate chip cookies. The recipe is on my blog, and this is the last one. We've got through them pretty quickly. Time for a little tour around the garden, I think. These steps were not even steps before. It was just like a bush. Here used to be just totally overgrown, and we've built a little handmade bird feeder, and we've got some collared doves nesting just outside the house, and they come and eat from here every day because they've got 2 newborn chicks. This hedge used to be a hedge and is now just twigs. Essentially, it was massively overgrown, and we chopped it all the way back and all the way down, and it's just starting to grow again. Look, you can see some new growth there, which is very exciting. This used to be a massive hole in the garden. For some reason it was like there was a massive dip there, so we filled it in with 3 or 4 wheelbarrowfuls of soil and then sprinkled it with grass, and as you can see, it is growing, which is very, very, very exciting. I'm just so proud of those steps because you literally couldn't see them before. I'm gonna try and put in some before and after photos so you can actually tell I'm not just making it up. Rhian doing his work over there. The pond was overgrown, so we just, oh, dragonfly. So we just sorted out some stuff around the edge, pulled out some of the weeds from it to give the fish and the newts and stuff more space. Got some irises there, which are my favourites, but these lilies are also absolutely beautiful, and that one has just come up today, which is super exciting. Yes, we've got tadpoles, newts, we've got damselflies, dragonflies, some fish somewhere. They're down there. I don't know if you can see them just about. At the bottom of the garden, this bit around the pond came out all the way to here, so we lost like a huge part of the lawn, and so we cut that all the way back, and as you can see, just about the grass has just started growing on it. It's the last place in the garden that needs to have some more grass put on it, so very exciting that's growing. Down by the Wendy house, this used to all be 3-cornered leek. Again, it's now cut back to make a little bit more lawn, and the turf we have here was dug up from the top of the garden where we put down some paving slabs. So reusing, reduce, reuse, recycle, and then the rest was just sprinkled with some grass seed, and as you can see, it's popping up. And annoyingly, obviously it's got a lot of weeds in it, but biodiversity and all that, it's not too bad. And also if you mow it, it tends to just all turn to grass anyway. Literally all of this, all the way along there, all the way along there, was just part of that kind of foresty bit. So we pushed it back, and then I built that wall all by myself. I mean, it's not exactly a wall, it's just a line of stones, but that's my little experience of dry stone walling. This is supposed to be wildflower kind of patch, but wildflowers are notoriously difficult to grow. So currently we have a primrose, a dead primrose. I have no idea what this is. We've got a few in the garden and they are very pretty. And then a couple of things at the end, and some bird feeders, butterfly feeder, and a plant of some variety in there. Don't know what that is. And then you go through here. This is where the chickens live. They have all of that, but they're let out every day so that they can have a little explore of the garden and not get eaten by foxes because we're all in it. And then this, my pride and joy, the veg patch, which as you can see is kind of lacking in vegetables at the moment. But previously, well, a year ago, this whole space of lawn was just overgrown. Like I say overgrown, you could not walk in it. It's kind of impossible to describe how overgrown it was. Finn and I cleared this last year and then sowed it with grass. It's now a very nice little patch of lawn, obviously with lots of wild bits at the edges and up there. And then we left this bit in the middle because we wanted kind of a barrier between the two parts of the garden. But we decided this year to build a little veg patch. This is to keep the chickens out because chickens will dig up your plants and eat them if they get any chance. So we have to keep the chicks out, but we are growing a couple of vegetables in here. I think we're trying to grow butternut squash. We got bean poles over there, courgette, lots and lots of lettuce. Got some rhubarb just hiding over there. And today my plan is to plant the little plugs that we got given by Lazy Flora and hope they grow somewhere. But yeah, you can see some little seedlings popping up. And the problem with seedlings is that they're really delicate. So if you have kind of unusually cold night or some birds scraping around in the soil, then they may well die. They can be easily plucked out, so that's why plugs are a little bit better for this kind of thing. So there is a dove nesting up there. We try not to talk too loudly near it because she's just had 2 chicks hatch, which is super exciting. But yeah, we leave her alone. Around here we've built these steps. Absolutely delighted with them actually. They're not really steps, what are they called? Paving stones. Because previously when it rains this area gets quite wet, so this will just mean that you can walk properly up them. So yeah, that was our latest little achievement. And then last one, this was one of my first things that I did. Never realised that these stairs are twice as wide as we thought they were. All the stuff over here, the ferns and 3-corner leek and all that, grew literally halfway up the stairs. So you could just kind of get down that side, but you could never get down this side. This side did that, like that bottom step did not exist. So I uncovered all of this. They're actually super nice stairs. They're like from the original house that was here. And then Rhian up there built this dry stone wall here. He's the expert, he actually knows what he's doing. And then we still got lots and lots of wild spaces in the garden for the birds and butterflies and bees and other wildlife. Okay, so I've got all the plants behind me. They arrived a little bit worse for wear, so I'm just trying to figure out which plants are which and where I'm going to put them. Wearing gloves. I never wear gloves when gardening, but they did suggest wearing these gloves, so I'm going to do that. We have tomatoes, we have rhubarb, we have courgette, aubergine and melon. Oh, and chili peppers. We're going to try and plant most of them out here at the moment. There are a couple that kind of take over the whole space that you put them in. I'm not entirely sure where we're going to fit those because we actually don't have that much space for the number of veg we're trying to plant. But I'm going to start with the rhubarb and tomatoes because I kind of know what to do with those. And then when it gets to the rest, get Rhian in because he knows a lot better than I do what on earth is going on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dig little holes, get out any big things like stones, rocks, twigs, roots, like all that kind of stuff, put in some compost into the bottom, put in some compost around the edge, stick the plant in and then pat it down with all the kind of composty soil around it. Once all of those are done, then I'm going to water them and I'm going to film the whole thing, so hopefully you guys can see it and see what on earth is going on. Onto our beloved tomato plant. Okay, so what I've done so far is the 2 tomato plants, which are looking very sad. Tomatoes don't really like, well, plants in general don't really like being transported places, and we got them yesterday and aren't putting them out until today, so needless to say, they need a bit of water and TLC. We got our old rhubarb there that has holes in it because the chickens were eating it, naughty chickens, and then our slightly happier new rhubarb here. That one's actually doing amazingly considering it got pecked nearly to death. This is one of our other new ones that I think very nearly died in the transport, and hopefully you got some shoots coming up there, and hopefully that one will survive and thrive in the veg patch. And then we got one of our old ones here as well, so plenty of rhubarb for apple and rhubarb crumble come autumn. So it might not seem like a lot, that's what we planted so far, and I'm going to get around to doing the rest in a bit. So next up we have our aubergine. Rhian tells me that aubergine grows tall and not wide, So I'm thinking of putting them by the bean poles where the beans have not grown and just stealing 2 of those, and then hopefully planting some beans once we get the seedlings growing indoors first. Water well before planting and feed weekly with a suitable liquid fertilizer. Can be grown outdoors in a sunny position. Let's do it! Let's give this a go. Now I'm going to give everything a big water and hope that they all grow. So I've been shooting photos of all of these all day actually, and I had to open all of them because to get the shot, if you have the plastic over the top, then it reflects, obviously. Now I'm steadily working my way through all of them, which is wonderful, whilst finishing up some of my work. Yikes, that went down well. Just finishing up some work, and then I'm gonna head out for a run. Alrighty, I am done with my work for the day, which is exciting, because it was quite a long day actually in the end. I'm about to go off on a run. I asked Rhian if he wanted to come with me, but he does not. So I guess that means I have no excuse not to do intervals. So rather than doing a long one, I'm just gonna do 3 by 5 minutes, which is probably a little bit less than I should be doing, but actually who cares what I should be doing, because I'm just out here to have fun. And then I think I'm gonna do another run tomorrow as well. But yeah, it's 3 by 5 minutes and then a cool down run on the way back. And it's quite hilly here, so I'm just gonna go like round this loop around where we are here. It's a 2.5 kilometer loop and it is very hilly, so it should be a little bit like hill sprints at the same time, but they're good for you, so you know, who cares. And I will be back in a min. So I'm about to head off. I am listening to Alice in Chains. That's my playlist of the day, and I am wearing these new headphones. They have noise cancelling. They just spoke to me. They're very good. I've actually got them as part of an upcoming campaign, but this is not part of that campaign. I would just like to say that I am very impressed with them. I will be talking about them more. I love over-ear headphones. When it's summer, you just get very sweaty ears, and sweaty ears are not great. So these ones are light, and I guess they're like, what are they called, the Apple ones? AirPods? I don't know. Anyway, I don't have an Apple phone, so why should I? But yeah, anyway, they're very good, and they have proper like electronic noise cancelling, so it's amazing how well they work, rather than just like trying to block out sound. Anyway, I'm gonna go because I'm just procrastinating now. 3 by 5 minutes, here we come. First interval done. That's the easy one. It's essentially all downhill. I say essentially, it is all downhill. The next interval is all uphill, so that's going to be fun. Strava actually does this quite clever thing that I only found out about the other day, that does grade adjusted pace. It kind of adjusts your pace to do consistent effort, so if you're doing the same effort but you're going up a hill, obviously you'll be going a lot slower, so to do the same pace uphill you have to put in a lot more effort. So they kind of, say you're going uphill, they'll speed up. The grade adjusted pace will be a lot faster than your actual pace, because it's to do with effort rather than actual output. My rest period is basically until I can do 10 slow inhale exhales through my nose only, and then I get going again. Two intervals done, 1 more to go, and then a cool down uphill run home. I like this. This is fun. Three intervals done. Now it's just for a steady jog home. That last one was really tough. There's like a minor incline here and you don't notice until you're trying to actually run fast. And then it's like, oh, okay, I feel that. Anyway, serious incline on the way back, and I gotta stop off and say hi to the cows, as always. Run done. That was good. It's 4.71 kilometers. Old me would have fully decided to run until 5k, but I've taken to walking the last bit home. I don't know, I definitely used to have like quite obsessive views over distances and whatnot, and just try and always hit whatever distance I'd set out to do, or like a round number or whatever. And yeah, that's fun from time to time, but it can get obsessive. So I just walk the last bit back home no matter what distance I've got to. Gives me a chance to like cool down, cool my nervous system down as well, because it's obviously quite stressful physically doing sprints or any kind of run really. And it also means I don't have to stretch when I get back. And I hate stretching, so actually that's kind of perfect for me. I'm gonna get back and then it's practically dinner time already, so I can't believe it's so light and nice out. It's definitely not warm, but blue sky. So yeah, anyway, glad I did that. Very nice, doesn't need to be long. Perfect. Dinner tonight was officially called pasta and stuff. So that's what we're having. Rhian's portion's a little bit bigger than mine. Nice, it's like as big as your head.
Yeah, growing boy.
So that is it for today. Just had a lovely dinner, watched Celebrity Bake Off, and now we are going to bed. It was a really fun day actually. My productivity levels seem to either be super productive, get everything done, like do loads throughout the day and be super happy and all that kind of stuff, or just lie in bed and not be able to get up and out and do anything. So I'm glad that today was the former, but I've had plenty of the other days as well. I just don't vlog them, so don't think that I'm being productive all the time, because nothing could be further from the truth. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please do give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. I do not know what I'm doing next week. I usually give you a little insight into something that I'm doing on the next vlog, but I have no idea because my days are all still pretty random at the moment. But let me know what you enjoyed, maybe what you didn't enjoy, and I will try and put that into effect in my next vlogs. So thank you again for watching, and I will see you next time. See you later. Bye!